What's going on, everyone? This is Brian Magnosi, and I'm honored to be introducing our main speaker tonight. He's a serial entrepreneur and a business coach with a focus on webinar marketing. Now, CEO of lifeonfire.com, his mission is to inspire you to do what you love, relentlessly pursue your passion, and live the dream. He sold the business by 30 years old, coached over 2,150 entrepreneurs, and has consulted clients including New York Times bestselling author John Assaraf, Keller Williams Real Estate, Safeco Insurance, NavySeals.com, Spartan Races, and many more. Now, he's also helped me go from being an overwhelmed entrepreneur, finding out exactly what my calling in life is. With his coaching on my very first webinar series, I made over $20,000, and I'm on pace to make an extra six figures this year. Ba-bam! He's the real deal. He's got a heart of gold. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Life on Fire, Nick Unsworth.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the introduction. And how are you doing tonight?
Fantastic. Never been better. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm fired up. We've got a ton of people registered, a ton of people on. So I'm just going to dive in and get this party started. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to give you a very big, warm welcome to our live webinar here tonight, The Anatomy of a Five-Figure Webinar. So this is going to be awesome. We've got all kinds of really great content in store for you here tonight. And if you are, a coach, a consultant, an expert, a service professional, CEO, an entrepreneur, if you're someone that wants to make money online and create leveraged income online, webinars is literally the number one strategy. You're going to hear a bit about my story, how I've leveraged webinars for the past 5 years. I've sold a business. I've built up Life on Fire. I've made millions of dollars using this strategy alone. And it's so good. And my clients keep saying, Nick, why are you teaching webinars? What are you doing? Right. So I created this course and I've had tons of success stories as I brought people through it. And I'm super excited to share this content in this course here tonight with you as well. So what I want to do is I want you to go to the chat box and it should say questions on it, and just give me a yes if the audio is good to go and you can hear me okay. So give me a yes if the audio is good to go. Awesome. We've got a lot of people on here. We got a lot of yeses. Walter from Puerto Rico. What's going on, my man? We got people from all over, which is cool. And so welcome here, guys. And tonight what we're going to cover, I'm going to teach you how you can build authority and attract ideal clients and customers with webinars. And that's one of the cool outputs of doing a webinar is not only are you bringing in customers, but you're also building up your expert brand positioning. And brand positioning allows you to charge more. It allows you to attract people to you. So I'm going to drill down on my 3S strategy to help you create your brand messaging, how to master the art of storytelling, and also my Shinpuru framework, which is Japanese for simple. Simple is good. You're going to have everything that you need by the end of this webinar to create your presentation. And then I'm going to give you steps to create, market, and deliver a profitable webinar. So heck yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, but first, I have a couple things. Number one, let's focus. You are investing your time here with me tonight. I'm investing my time here with you to give you everything I have, literally my best steps about how to crush it with webinars online. So what I want you to do is literally turn your cell phone off or put it on silent and flip it upside down, close out of other browsers, and just be here. Be present. You can hear my voice. You can see my screen, my slides. Right now, you should be seeing the slide that says, let's focus, right? So I want you to just really be here. You're investing the time. I know we all live very busy lives. You've got loved ones. You've got things to do, but you came here to learn this playbook, and I'm going to give you everything I got. So just be here and be present. Number two is I have an engagement contest. And so as you're going to find throughout this webinar presentation, I've got lots of ways where I can engage with you. You can ask questions. We've got our moderator, Brian Magnosi, on the line. You can ask him questions. And so keep that in mind. And you know what, Brian, are you seeing it say engagement contest? Sometimes GoToWebinar gets stuck. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause and let me know if you should right now, you should see engagement contest. Let me know if you can see engagement contest. All right.
Not yet, Nick. We still
Not
see
yet.
the welcome.
All right. So check this out. I'm going to teach you your first trick with GoToWebinar. If your screen ever gets stuck, here's the playbook. Brian, I'm going to give you the slides, my friend. And from there, what I want you to do is pass it right back to me.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to make you the presenter.
Yeah, man,
How
that's
cool
love
is
to
that?
see
All
it.
right, that's the first go-to webinar trick right there. Don't let that ruffle your feathers when you're on a webinar. You just pass it and pass it back, which is cool. So cool, guys. So basically, last slide before this was just to focus, as you heard. Right here, we've got the engagement contest, and here's how this works. We've got 5 Life on Fire t-shirts. Yes, they are amazing. They are just extra comfy, and you're just going to feel cool when you wear them. And so Life on Fire shirts, we've got 5, and all you have to do is just focus, stay to the end of the presentation, and I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then the first to answer, boom, is going to win a shirt. We'll ship it right out to you as soon as we can. So that's the engagement contest. And then from here, what I want you to do is to just for a moment, just imagine. I want you to just literally close your eyes, just hear my voice, and I want you to imagine what it would feel like if you had a webinar with hundreds of interested, attentive prospects on the other side, and they are waiting for what you have to offer them, for what you have to share with them. They're there because they want what you have, right? And I want you to imagine what that would feel like. And then I want you to think about the feeling of going through your presentation, having a smile on your face, teaching what it is that you know to other people. And then at the end, you offer your next step. Maybe your next step is to give them a free coaching call with you. Maybe your next step is to offer one of your products or a service that you have. And imagine how good it would feel if you literally made over $10,000 in that night. I mean, think about it. Like the orders coming through on your email inbox, and at the end you're just sitting there and you're just like, this is incredible. From watching this webinar right here today, you learned a playbook that you implemented, you rolled up your sleeves, you got into work, you implemented, and then you made over $10,000 in your business. And I want you to imagine what that would feel like. What would you do with an extra $10,000 in your life? I mean, would you do something fun? Would you go out and take your significant other on a vacation? Would you, buy something cool, like buy a huge new TV? I mean, what would you do with an extra $10,000? So that's what this is about here tonight, is this playbook that I'm sharing with you. I've taught it to many, many clients. Brian Magnosi, who you heard from in the very beginning, is one. And this playbook has been battle tested. I've used it for years. So now I want to do a very quick poll. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on the screen here and I ask you a very simple question. And you should now see, have you delivered a webinar? And just type yes, or click the yes button or the no button. So you should see a poll on your screen and just click yes if you have delivered a webinar before, or no if you have not. All right, so it is calculating. We've got all kinds of people that are answering right now. So right now it's at 34% yes, 66% no. So if you haven't already, just click that button, click yes or no, and I'm going to close that poll down and I'm going to share that results. So the results, we've got 34% yes, 66% no. Okay, very cool. Next poll is, how much money do you want to make delivering a webinar this year in 2015? So the next poll is between now and the end of this year. How much money do you want to make? We've got 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 25,000, 25,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to a million. And what's crazy is you're going to see examples of people that I've helped make millions, plural, with an S, using this very same webinar strategy. I've helped people make a couple thousand after webinars, make 20,000 after webinars, as you heard from Brian. But just click that little button, choose what you'd like to make, and let's see where we're at. All right. So, okay. So let me close the poll, share the results. All right, why am I not surprised? I think you guys are in the right spot. You want to make over $100,000, the majority with webinars. And the coolest part about this presentation here tonight is, by the end of it, you will fully realize not only the steps, but you're going to know that it's possible and that you can do it. As you'll hear briefly in my story, man, I have been the underdog throughout my entire life. I used to have a phobia of speaking. And when you know the model, anyone can put it into play, which is key. All right, so let me hide that poll. All right. Very cool. So the questions box. So this is something that we're also going to give a little bit of a workout here today. So just type in the questions box where you're actually calling in or you're viewing from. So give me the state or the country that you're calling in from, and I want you to just share real quick. Just say hey, say what's up, and just share where you're calling in from. All right, we got Jason J. Boom in Tempe, Arizona. We've got a whole bunch of Canadians in here. What's up, Adam? We've got Iman in Los Angeles. We've got Sarah, Colorado. We've got Javier in Massachusetts. We've got James in New Jersey, Orlando. A lot of Californians out here. We've got Jeff in San Diego. We've got Deborah in San Diego. We've got a whole bunch. We've Australia. Parody. What's up, Parody? Parody's a client out in Australia. Welcome, welcome. We've got folks from Victoria, from is that Hong Kong? We've got London 1 a.m. So good commitment. All right, well, welcome, guys. All right, so let me just dive in here and just want you to know what my mission is. So my mission is to help you make a living doing what you love, because at the end of the day, we work more than we do any other activity. You're going to spend more time working than sleeping. You're going to spend more time working than with your family, with your kids, whatever your scenario. You're going to spend more time working than doing anything else in your life. So my mission is to help you love what you do for work. My mission is also to help you create leveraged income with webinars, because at the end of the day, we are all in business, or we want to be in business because we want to create leveraged income. It's no fun working 80 hours a week when you can create leveraged income. That is where it's at. That's the whole purpose of this strategy you're going to learn here tonight. And my goal is to help you live what I call a life on fire. A life on fire has different meanings to different people, but it's where you love what you do for work. You're helping people. You're giving back. You're making more money than you feel that you deserve. You're able to give it back, and you're prospering with purpose. So it is going to be awesome. So I'm also going to be sharing how I made over $3.7 million in the last 5 years, and how you can too. It's a huge number. It's crazy to think about, but you'll hear exactly how I did it using this very strategy. So to go back, now what I want you to understand is, and this is part of what I shared as you opted in for this webinar, is that I want to teach you about how to master the art of storytelling. I've hired many mentors, many coaches, and I've refined how I deliver webinars, or refined how I share stories. So the whole trick of storytelling is about relating it back to you, because you're not here to hear about me, right? But if I can teach what my story is to connect with you, and you're learning nuggets along the way, that's where it's at. Because this is not about bragging. This is not about just what I've done, but what it does serve to do, it allows us to connect together so that there is rapport. And when there's rapport and there's trust, you're going to be more attentive. You're going to have more focus, and you're going to really internalize the information. So you're gonna see that when I'm talking about my story, I'll be flipping it back to you. So when you hear about a time in my life where I was at rock bottom, and I'll ask you if you've ever been in a situation like that. So for my journey, and I'm just going to blast through this really fast, but my journey ever since I was a little kid, it was my dream to be financially free. It was my dream to have time freedom. It's my dream to be able to be a dad one day, and have a beautiful wife and have kids, and just got engaged. So I'm close, which is cool. But I want you to think about, why did you become an entrepreneur? Was it being financially free? Was it having time freedom? Was it, the nice house, putting your kids through college? Maybe you're looking to become an entrepreneur, and these are things that you want. But I want you to think about what it is that drove you to become an entrepreneur or a marketing professional that would utilize webinars. And that's really important, because that's going to propel you forward as you come against challenges and as you implement the webinar strategy. So 2001, I was in college, and my first, crack at being an entrepreneur was in the MLM industry, so network marketing. And what ended up happening is, when I was in network marketing, I had some success right out of the gates. I actually got into it because I had a mentor at an internship that sat me down in a coffee shop. I don't know if you can relate to this. I don't know if anyone's ever sat you down and showed you, quote, the plan, right? 3 people who get 3 people who get 3 people. You guessed it, who get 3 people. And next thing you know, you built this huge business. So, I was young. I got all wrapped up into it, and I was kicking butt in it. I was in college, and sure enough, by the time I graduated from college, I was full-time with a network marketing company, and they unexpectedly filed bankruptcy. I found myself, at 21, I was making crazy money. I was making 6 figures. At 22, I'd lost it all. I took that dream, right? I kept chasing the dream over and over. I was just trying to find my way, chase that dream into real estate. So real estate, I've been in real estate in 2007. I moved from Connecticut all the way to San Diego, and guess what happened? 2 weeks after I moved to San Diego, to work in the real estate industry for a big project for the Hard Rock Hotel. The entire economy melted down. That is crazy timing, right? And so that experience, I found myself again down and out, totally missed the boat. The economy crashed. It was an awful work experience. And from there, I moved back to Connecticut and I was like, I just want to help people. I want to just find a way where I can make a living helping people. So I created this whole company called the New Perks Card that was 100% of the proceeds went to charity. Built up this business. My parents, everyone around me was starting to think, wow, I think he's actually doing it. I think it's working. I started to have these little success points. Everything was going great. And then sure enough, that business failed because of traditional advertising. I ran TV commercials. I ran, print, and that just did not convert. I spent tens of thousands of dollars and it didn't work. So again, I found myself just stuck, just overwhelmed, in debt, and it didn't work. So the result of that business, again, just a huge epic fail. I don't know if you've swung the entrepreneurial bat and had any fails in your life, but what I found is that most entrepreneurs have. And my job now as a business coach is I want to help people avoid the failures and just get into prospering with purpose. So there I was 30,000 bucks in debt. I was told to file bankruptcy. And instead what happened is my mother gave me the book, The Secret. I read the book in a day. And I decided instead of filing bankruptcy, I decided to tattoo a goal on my chest and forge ahead. My goal was to sell a business by 30. And, from that point, I was 30,000 bucks in debt. I started investing like crazy into my education. I started investing into internet marketing. That was just, what everyone was talking about. And I was like, all right, maybe this is my chance to find my way. So I invested another 20,000 bucks in credit cards. I don't know if it's you guys, I don't know if you've invested in courses or if you've been to events, but it's amazing. It's a great way to get to where you want to go faster. My problem is that I kept investing, but I wasn't taking action. I don't know if you've ever bought a course and you bought it and then you didn't do anything, but that was my pattern. That was my routine. I invested in all these courses and nothing had happened. And so what happened from here is that the last investment that I made was this event called the Guru Mastermind. And it was 5,000 bucks. I got the last $2,500 on my Discover credit card. I got that in there. And then I had a friend put up the other 2,500 bucks. I then had to fly from Connecticut to LA to go to this event to learn about internet marketing, to learn about webinars and all this stuff. And I got myself to the event and I was so broke, I actually had to bring protein mix in a sandwich bag. And everyone would go do lunch. Everyone paid $5,000 to be there. So very successful people in the room. And, everyone go to lunch and I'd be like, hey guys, I've got a call to make. Let me run to my room. And I'd go to my room and I would literally make a protein shake in a cup. And it's not as tasty as it looks. It was nasty. And, but I had to just find a way. As an entrepreneur, sometimes we just have to find a way. And, I just put a smile on my face, went back down to the event. What happened was that it was my defining moment. I've never been late on a payment in my life, but I had to cover, 3,500 bucks in bills. And my mentor, who I invested in, this guy, Eben Pagan, he said, you just have to take action. You just got to get going and you have to just pick something, right? So if you're, listening right now and you're trying to figure out what business you want to do, that's okay, right? I mean, I've been in that spot and, it was at that time where I made a decision. I chose a niche and I decided to become a Facebook marketing expert. And the reason's because I was interested in it. It seemed like it was a growth industry. And I saw this woman, Mari Smith, who was doing very well. I kind of modeled what she was doing, made it simple on myself. And, I at the time, people would ask me, well, how are you going to be a Facebook marketing expert, Nick? You don't have any experience. Shoot, you're not even on Facebook. At the time, I wasn't even on Facebook with a personal profile. But what ended up happening is that I had bought a bunch of courses. I had a bunch of knowledge on it. And a very important teachable moment is that I got some great advice. Nick, you don't have to be this full-blown national expert. You just have to know more than who you're coaching. And if you know more than them, then you have every right to teach them what you know. And if you can get them results, they're going to want to pay you money. So if you're just getting started, or if you have knowledge over the years from all of your life experiences, every one of us, we all have knowledge. We all have things that we can do, and we just want to help you package that knowledge into a webinar, help your ideal target audience and then offer your products and services. So that's exactly what I did. I got into action. My first 30 days, I didn't have any money, but I went out and I pounded the pavement and I used my grassroots approach. So I went to networking groups. I made, 5K of revenue. I started investing it back in Facebook ads, found myself getting a big speaking gig. Within 90 days, here's the key thing. Here's what's very key is that within 90 days, I launched my first webinar series. This is in 2010. It was called the Facebook Mastery Summit. And the Facebook Mastery Summit was it was a couple webinars is all it was. And I put this thing together and I shared it with everyone I knew in my network. I ran some ads to it. And the result is that I made over $110,000 my very first webinar series. Now, can you imagine what that would feel like for you if you do a webinar series and made over 110 grand? Now, granted, I put some money into ads. I worked my butt off for this, right? But that moment changed everything. That's when I realized that I didn't have to only do client work. I didn't have to just trade time for money. I could create leveraged income by teaching entrepreneurs all over the world from the luxury of my computer how to market on Facebook. And the more action I took, the better I got at, the better results I got for my clients. Within 6 months, I started consulting companies like, Safeco Insurance or $2 billion company, Keller Williams Real Estate. I was featured in a whole bunch of books, yada, yada, yada. Within 2 years, I sold my business. So that goal on my chest to sell a business by 30, I achieved it in 2012. Now, what does that mean? The whole purpose of me sharing that is that in a very short period of time, you're talking in 2 years, from 2010 to 2012, I generated multiple six-figure business and was able to sell that because of the webinar strategy. From that experience, it's only gotten better. From that experience, Life on Fire, my company, was born, and that started in about 2013. And I realized that I wanted to just spend my time helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses. And between Facebook marketing, between webinars, and I wanted to teach this to as many people as possible. And that's my mission here tonight. So, Life on Fire is about increasing your profits and reducing your hours worked. Now, there's no doubt about it. We all have to work really hard as entrepreneurs. That is the truth. But when you work really hard at doing something that you love, it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. And you add in purpose and you have a big enough reason why, or you're giving back, that's where this becomes absolutely amazing. So that's what a Life on Fire is about. And why did everything change? It changed because I invested in myself. I kept struggling and I kept swinging the entrepreneurial bat. I kept trying everything and I was failing at everything I touched. I was starting to doubt myself. I don't know if you've ever had a time where, as an entrepreneur, you're overwhelmed and you're thinking, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this, right? For me, I had people in my life, I had friends, I had family saying, why don't you just be more like your brother? Get a job. Like, you seem like you've got a good head on your shoulders. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? But I knew, I clung to the hope that I would live a life on fire one day, right? And so what changed is I got the mentorship, and what changed is running webinars. So I would now want to ask you a quick invest in yourself test. So here's the thing. Would you give me $1,000 right now if you receive 10,000 back in 60 days? So think about that. If you were guaranteed, if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100% certainty, literally, like, what if I put that $10,000 in an escrow account? It had your name on it. You are guaranteed to get it in 60 days. Would you give $1,000 right now to make 10,000 in 60 days? And I want you to think about that. And I want you to type in the chat box, type yes if you are, or no if you're not, if you wouldn't do that. And so we have one. So Par says, if I had $1,000, heck yes. Well, here's the thing. What if you didn't have $1,000? Would you find a way? If you think about it, would you find a way, right? It's kind of like when I invested in myself in that course that changed everything about my life, from struggling 50 grand in debt. I found a way. I had a friend go in halvesies on it with me, put it on a credit. I got there to that event and everything changed. I've made millions since that event. The guy I met at that event was one of these guys, Scott from Wisconsin, who was at that event, is the same guy who was my first 5-figure client, my first 6-figure client. He bought my business. So if you think about it, it's like investing in yourself yields you a return on your investment. So if you're not investing in yourself, it's so key, because don't take the long run as an entrepreneur, take the fast path. So we've got tons of people saying yes. So if I did not have to rob a bank, yes. So Roy Lee, All right. Well, hey, next step is from this, you can use this strategy to make $1,000. You don't have to invest in ads. I'm going to share with you exactly how you can use this strategy to make money so that you can be in a position to invest in yourself. So cool. So I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs from all over the world, all walks of life, in different niches, different industries. Kathy Wagner, retail consulting, she made $21,000 in her very first webinar. We've got Brian Magnosi, the king of video, who you heard from in the beginning. If you're on right in the beginning, he made $20,000 in his very first, webinar. And the cool thing about Brian, and you'll hear this a little bit later from him, is that, when Brian and I met, he was in a transition point, and helped him dig deep and help him re-clarify his purpose and help him, I asked him a question. I said, Brian, what would you do if money was no object? Where would you spend your time? I'm like, assume you had $100 million in the bank. What would you do? And Brian said, I would do video, man. He's like, I would just teach people about how to do videos. I would make videos. I love creating content. That's what my wife says I don't shut up about. And I said, Brian, that's it, man. Like that's the answer. Anything that's not video, you shouldn't do, right? So he made a very big pivot in his life, and he decided to go towards video. He had a lot of experience. He stepped into the fear of just being the new expert. Since then he's been on Inc. and Success and other different, online magazines, and he's been referred to as the king of video. And he's just out of the gates fast. I mean, this is in just a couple months, he's came out of the gates quick, so it can happen fast. Karen Fagan, she's a life coach, and she made $90K from her very first webinar that she did with this webinar conversion formula coaching that I have here. And what's cool is that she ran a webinar and drove people to a live event in LA. And what's nice is she only got 26 people. So she brought them to a webinar, right? She taught some really cool content. She built rapport with her audience. They fell in love with her. And she said, listen, guys, I'm putting on a live event in person in LA, and I want to invite you to it. She gave them free tickets. 26 people show up. Of the 26, she had a whole bunch that signed up for her higher ticket coaching program. She received $30,000 in upfront cash and $60K in recurring monthly payments. So how cool is that? I mean, before this playbook, she was kind of floundering, going back and forth, right? So using this strategy, she was able to go from webinar, attract highly qualified leads, take them from a webinar and bring them to an in-person event. You can go webinar and you can take them to buying your course, buying your services, your products. You can go webinar to the phone call. Then you can share what you have to offer with them on a phone call. So a lot of options. Joe Polish, he's a very, very successful, probably the most well-networked entrepreneur I know. He's the founder of the 25K Genius Network. We did a webinar with him, 88K in revenue, which is cool. I've consulted Damon John from Shark Tank, Mark Devine from NavySeals.com, Joe DeSena, Spartan Races, and that is it. So that is everything about me. And I just want you to know that this strategy, this content, is coming to you from a place of experience and coming to you from a giving heart. And it's important to know that this stuff works, because I bought courses that don't work. And I want you to know that everything I'm sharing with you is time tested, it's proven. So the next question is, are you ready to live a life on fire? Type in the chat box if you're ready to go, and just give me a yes. If you're with me, say you're fired up. I got a bunch of hell yeses. I got some yeses. Awesome. All right. Well, cool, guys. All right. My ass is on fire. All right. Sweet. Okay, cool. So here's the benefits of webinar marketing. And the benefits is that it will help you build your email list. So I'm sure, as many of you know, having an email list is having influence, right? That means you have people that want to know what you know, right? They are interested in your products and services, and allows you to follow up. So we all need to build our email list. Now, how cool is it with webinars that you can snap your fingers and all go from 0 email list to 1,000 people on your email list? When I did the Facebook Mastery Summit, I literally only had maybe 50 or 75 people on my email list. I ran that webinar series, and I had over 5,500 people by the time I was done, right? So think about how powerful that is, building your email list. You can also leverage webinars to build celebrity-like brand positioning in your niche. What's really great is you want your audience to perceive you as the expert within your industry. The cool thing is you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. You run webinars and you have the expert positioning where you're teaching something that will help them. You want to be seen everywhere. Think about a realtor in your town, right? It's like, Why is it that 20% of the realtors in your town make 80% of the profits in the real estate deals? It's because they're seen everywhere. It's because when someone moves to the town or someone asks, who should I work with? It's, well, we trust Janet because her signs are everywhere, right? When you run a webinar, the cool thing is I'm going to teach you how to market a webinar effectively so you can be seen everywhere. And it's the best way to attract highly qualified leads that want to learn what you have. And greatest thing is that it will rapidly increase your income to live a life on fire. So it's the number one way to market online, and it's leveraged income, keyword being leveraged. You can do it from anywhere in the world. If you have a laptop, ideally you want a microphone. And the coolest thing is you can have people. I mean, shoot, we've got folks from other countries on right now. I know it's late. I know it's like 1 a.m. in London, but you can have people from all over the world tuning in. So let me ask you some questions. Do you need experience to do a webinar? Absolutely not. Everyone starts with zero experience. It's all good. This framework will teach you everything you need to know to get rolling. Do you need an email list? No. I've got, as you'll hear in my marketing strategies, that you can build your email list from the ground up with webinars. Do you have to work hard? Yes, you do have to work hard. I learned the hard way throughout my 20s that there are no magic buttons or magic pills that are just going to allow you to just have financial freedom, right? We have to roll up the sleeves. You want to work hard doing something that you love, and you're going to enjoy it anyway. So if you guys are ready for the steps, type in the chat box and give me a yes. And if you're ready to rock, so I've got some great steps here for you guys, and we're going to get rolling. And if you do have questions, I've got Brian Magnosi, and he is an incredible guy, business coach, king of video, and he's on here because he's helping to moderate. If you have questions, just type them in the chat box. He's happy to answer them. All right, so the 21 proven steps to create, market, and deliver profitable webinar. I call this part of my webinar conversion formula. And so here's the thing. The 21 steps, you may have seen in your email. I sent this as a PDF as well, and now I'm going to go through and drill down on it. So the cool thing is you have the nuts and bolts of this slide in your inbox. And if you don't have it, just reply to one of my emails. We're happy to resend it to you. But this right here, if you literally just take this and run with it, you are going to have what you need to build a webinar. I'm going to go a little bit fast. Keep in mind that you'll have that PDF. You can refer back to it, get your questions answered, and we'll get rolling. All right. So the first step numero uno is you want to prosper with purpose. What I found is that making money is awesome, right? Not having to have those financial headaches, or shoot, I think of when I used to lay in bed and it felt like I had 1,000 pounds of bricks on my chest, and it stunk, right? But having a ton of money or making a ton of money, that's not going to just give you happiness. What gives us happiness is purpose. And so I want to encourage you to prosper with purpose. So on the left, you've got good, right? And that's building a business with the vision of helping others and helping others along the way as you profit. The bad way is if your goal is only to make money, your career, people are going to see through that. Your career is going to just be about money, and your fulfillment and everything about your life will be way more enjoyable when you have a purpose behind it. And I want to share this with you. This is what I call my 3S strategy. This is what I broke down with Brian. And the 3S strategy is to help you really clarify and discover not only your purpose, but your messaging. And the cool thing is that when you figure this out and you dial this in, you'll find that when you're in alignment, it's like the stars align, everything comes together. People get it, you attract people into your life, things become easier, and you find that the challenges that you would face before that would be insurmountable, impossible to get through, looked like they were the size of mountains, that once you clarify your purpose and you have that and you've got that big reason why in your business, that it actually pulls you through. And when your purpose is big enough, you're going to look at that big challenge the size of a mountain. It's going to be the size of an anthill. It's not going to matter. You're going to lean into it. You're going to break right through it. And Tony Robbins said it best: when you have a big enough why, it will pull you through your life. It will pull you through challenges, and you're going to enjoy the journey. The thing that makes me the happiest is when I look at clients that are working their butts off, right, but making money, but they're also enjoying the journey along the way. So 3S strategy. The first part is, what's your story? The reason why I shared my story is that in my background, I grew up in a home where my dad was providing, which meant I never got to see my dad. He's an incredible, honorable man for providing. I got to, go to college. Shoot, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, right? But it was at the expense of my dad, working 12 hours a day, right? Missing football games and all these things. And as a kid, I didn't understand it and even resented it, as awful as that may sound. And so what shaped me as a kid is my story is the fact that I don't want to, I never wanted to grow up and to just not have any time freedom. I wanted to love what I do for work, and what's interesting is that when my business coach, who I pay $3,000 a month to, when she asked me my story, and then she said, Nick, so what's your stance? And I said, I don't know, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. She goes, no, well, what pisses you off? What's your stance with your business? You can't just be in business. You got to have a stance. That's where your messaging comes from. And I said, you know what? What pisses me off is, people becoming entrepreneurs because they bought into the dream of a great lifestyle, but they're not enjoying that, right? And what pisses me off is people working harder as an entrepreneur than when they have a job, or even if you have a corporate job, working so many hours that you don't have any time freedom. You're not living a life on fire. So my stance is, that I want people to prosper with purpose and live a life on fire. And so once I figured that out, that's when I created Life on Fire. And what my strategy became, the third S is strategy, is I wanted to take my messaging, I wanted to take the mission of Life on Fire to the masses using webinars. So I ask you, what is your story? What is it about you that makes you unique? Oftentimes your biggest challenges represent your biggest opportunities. Shape that into your stance, take that, harness it, and make it something where when you're doing a webinar, you're sharing something that you're so passionate about that you don't have to be some slick, presenter. You can just share your story, add value with your teachable moments, the golden nuggets that you have to share, and your strategy can simply be webinars. So step number 2 is setting your goal, because here's the thing. When you're going to do a webinar, right, and your mission is to create profits from the webinar to build your list, you've got to know what you want to do. You've got to know what your goal is. So I want to ask you, how much money do you want to make on the live webinar? I already asked you in the poll earlier how much you want to make this year. But when you go to do your first webinar, you want to set a realistic goal, right? The difference between a webinar that flops versus a profitable webinar is the goal and the decision to achieve it. And I want you to think about this. When you make a decision, it's your choice to make it right. I know that in anything that I do, right, whether it be my live events, whether it be my webinars or an online coaching program, I know what my goal is, and then I just will work hard enough to achieve that particular goal. So when you do your first webinar, or maybe if you've already been doing webinars, if you're saying, what, I want to make that $10,000, then you want to make sure that you have that goal laid out in advance. And then number 3 is you got to know your math. So the $10,000 playbook, and this is what most people won't tell you, right? So I'm going to be bringing it completely just raw as the numbers for you. I'm going to be sharing all the truths with you. A lot of people like to sugarcoat things and hype everything up. And, my job here today is to paint a picture. There could be a couple of you that say, you know what, webinars aren't for me. I mean, if it's not for you, awesome. Then this, session here tonight is going to save you a bunch of, time and energy, versus you're going to look at this and say, this is exactly for me. This is how I'm going to, make $10,000 my first webinar. This is how I'm going to, build up an extra 6 figures in my business. So, but here's the math. If you want to make a $10,000, you want to think about, let's just say you had a $1,000 course, and your goal is to make $10,000 on a webinar, you'd want to have 400 people registered, and there would be an average of, let's say, 25% show up live on the webinar. If you converted at 10% and made 10 sales, that'd be $10,000 in sales. Now, the best part about this is that that's just about what you would make live on the webinar. You can double this number based on your follow-up. So that is really cool. But that's some very basic math, which is very important to know. Know what you're getting into. So number 4 is you want to create an outline for your offer. And here's the thing. If you're new, right? And so let's just say in the example with Brian Magnosi, who's on the line, when we looked at, him creating his webinar, Well, it didn't make sense to just create a webinar for the good of creating a webinar. We wanted him to start with the end in mind. I want you to start with the end in mind. What are you going to sell after the webinar? The webinar is your front end. That's what attracts the lead. It builds your email list, it builds your authority. But then you deliver your webinar, you create rapport with your audience, and then it's your job to then have them offer your next step. You could sell something there live. You can take them to the phone. If you're like Karen, you could take them to a live event, but you want to know what that is, and for Brian, he came up with total video mastery. So he created an outline for the course. It didn't mean he built the entire thing. You want to create the outline for the course. You don't have to go and deliver everything, because guess what? If you do your webinar and it doesn't land for people, let's just say, you don't have mentorship and you just guess at what you think your market's going to like. If you don't make sales, well, then you didn't burn all the time to create the product in the first place. So does that make sense? So give me a yes if you're following me here, and just so you guys know, so I'm catering to a couple different learning styles. So right now you've got auditory, right, where you're hearing me. You've got visual, you can see it on the screen, and some people like to read. So that's why this presentation was designed to tap into all the different ways that people learn. And so give me a yes if you are following in. We've got. I thought it was Mary. I see. Yes, dog. And I thought it was Mary. Mary just said yes, but Nicholas, I love your name, said yes, dog. It's cool. It's got a whole bunch of yeses. All right. So what's cool is that when you are creating an online program, and why, webinars is a way to build your list, build authority online. And what I love, create an online program for your audience. Now, maybe you have physical products, you have services. That's also cool too. But if you're looking to package your knowledge and you're looking to share what you know with other people, you can do that all online as well. So you create an outline for the course. Brian Magnosi, he named it Total Video Mastery, had the outline. Then once he knew what his end game is, what the course he was going to sell is for $1,000, then we look at it and say, all right, well, who's going to buy that course, right? Who's your ideal customer? And what's cool here is that you just narrow it down to one person. So right now, when I'm talking I'm talking to you, right? And right now, in my head, I have a picture in my head of who you are. I know everything from, age, gender, we've done a bunch of Facebook ads, we've done a bunch of research, I know interests, I know what your biggest challenges are, what Facebook pages you like, so that when I'm talking, I'm talking to you as one person. And so what's cool is that that's how we want you to be. So we want you to think of who would be ideal to work with. And what's nice about this is it's not who you can get, it's who would you love to work with. Be a little I hate to say the word greedy because I don't like the word, but you want your ideal customer to be perfect for you, someone that you really, really, really would love to work with. And the big thing here, I want you to write this down, is what is their biggest challenge or frustration? Because your webinar is oftentimes a solution to their biggest challenge or frustration. And what you want to think of is, what are a couple Facebook pages that they would like? Because, when you get to the point when you can reinvest in yourself and you can run Facebook ads, you can simply target people on Facebook that like certain pages, and it makes it very, very effective to market to. Number 6 is survey your warm market in your email list. If you have an email list, awesome. If you don't, survey people that you know about the topic. So wouldn't it be great to know what people want before you do the webinar? And as you'll notice, we'll have a survey as soon as this webinar closes out that you can tap into. And we use surveys all the time. You can get a free trial on SurveyMonkey completely for free, surveymonkey.com. And you don't want to make the mistake of assuming you know what they want. And I want to also encourage you that if you're going to build an online business or you're going to sell via webinars, you want your niche to be either in the money and business bucket, health and wellness bucket, or dating and relationships. Those are all big industries that are emotionally charged, where people have a problem. Someone that wants to find love, they will want to watch a webinar about how to get engaged in a year. Someone that's an entrepreneur, heck, you want to learn how to make more money, right? So health and fitness, someone that, is overweight, wants to learn how to be thin and enjoy, their life and the way they look, right? So you want to make sure that you play in those big buckets, and you want to also make sure You can very simply survey your network. You don't have to have an email list to do this. I've got plenty of clients that start out with no email list, but they've still met people out at events. They've gone, into local networking meetings for free, and they can survey people about what it is that they're doing so that their success, ratio is way higher. Number 7 is you want to have a title that's going to grab attention. And, that's why for this, the anatomy of a 5-figure webinar. So I'm kind of going behind the scenes. I'm breaking it down. So you want your title to grab attention. Now, your webinar title can also just be very simple. So if you're a service professional, maybe you're a coach like me. I coach lots of entrepreneurs. I've got lots of success stories. And what if I had an example where how I helped Kathy Wagner make $20,997 in a live webinar, and you can too, right? What's cool about that is it's tangible, it's real. The great thing about a webinar is that when you're speaking authentically from your experience and you do client work, then you're just sharing a success story. So no matter what it ever is your industry, if you already have a customer or you have clients, choose one that you've done your best success story with. Ask them if you can make a webinar sharing how you helped them achieve the result that you did. And the nice thing is that alone can be a very nice, authentic webinar title. Now, in number 8, it is just creating a juicy subheadline. So your title grabs attention. Your subheadline is meant to tell them what they're going to get out of it. You want to convey your value proposition for why your ideal customers would attend, right? So you want your subheadline to be tangible. You want it to be clear and simple. A confused mind will never convert. So what I want you to think in this right here, when I spent that $5,000 to invest in myself to go to that event with Eben Pagan, one of the things that I will never forget, he said, Nick, narrow your niche, know who your ideal target market is. But then he said, when you're doing anything copywriting related, you need to think that your prospects are thinking, what's in it for me? You guys thought, what's in it for me when you saw the ad or when you decided to opt into this webinar. And you might be thinking, what's in it for me right now as to what's on the next slide, right? Where by nature, we think, what's in it for me? So I want you to write down what's in it for me. And I want you to think about that, for when you're crafting your headline for your webinar. All right, cool. And guys, if you are following along, just give me a yes and just let me know if, these are just step by step. This is just a great way to get rolling. And so give me a yes if you're picking up what I am putting down. All right, so we got a lot of people. Everyone is saying yes. All right, sweet. This is good stuff. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, we got, let's see, Janet. All right, so this is basic for you. Well, good, Janet. I love that you're more advanced, and you just hold your horses for a minute. We got some more advanced stuff coming. So, if it's your first webinar, awesome. We're taking you through all the steps. If you've done lots of webinars, great, because, as we continue through these steps, they're going to get more advanced. And the cool thing is, I've got one client who, I brought from a 6-figure business. She never made more than $450,000 in 1 year, and that's based on 7 years of history. And boom, next thing you know, 1 year of working with me, she broke 7 figures in her business, and she broke $2 million. Since then, she's been in huge webinars, super exciting, and we've got some confidentiality, so I won't share the name, but it's just amazing. You can really, really hit big numbers with these strategies. So step number 9 is what I call the bomb.com benefit statements. So think about when you create a webinar, you want to have an opt-in page, right? So they need, just like you did here, you saw the headline, you saw my subheadline, you then saw my benefit statements, right? So benefit statements are what you're going to learn, right? And you got to think that a feature explains the thing. A benefit explains how the thing is going to enhance your life. And this is really key because I see a lot of mistakes where people are just sharing the features, not the benefits. People buy benefits, not features. So an example is, buy Nick's webinar conversion online coaching program and get weekly live calls with Nick. That's a highlight of a feature, right? Being on weekly calls with me, totally a feature. Instead, a benefit would be get weekly live calls with Nick so that you can learn exactly how to deliver a profitable webinar that makes you over $10,000. The so that, and if you want to write down so that is the key thing there, because so that if you're new to copywriting, you can just write the feature, then write so that, and then you write in what it's going to do for the actual person. So features and benefits have just always been a confusing thing, but the so that is an easy trick for copywriting. Number 10, graphic design matters a lot. If you're, building your celebrity-like brand in your niche, you want your design to stand out. So in step number 10, you want, your webinar is literally building your brand. And, do you want a brand that everyone wants to follow? Yes or no, right? So easy ways to do this. I love this. I love how the industry has evolved. You have leadpages.net, you have optimizepress.com. These are two resources where you can build your own opt-in pages, and you can make that process easier. So graphic design matters. Number 11, you want to choose your partner. Your partner meaning, GoToWebinar. Pros for GoToWebinar: it's easy to use, it's reliable, most people are familiar with it. Private chat. Cons: costs money. Has 1,000 person max. You can use Google Hangouts. You can use that to, Google Hangouts are free, but the cons are that it's buggy, right? And the group chat can be distracting. Webinar Jam, my good friend Mike Filsame, has that program, and it's made for marketers, by marketers, for marketers. The con is learning how to set it up, right? So I'm a big fan of GoToWebinar. I like the simplicity, and I find that it works really well. Number 12, in step number 12 here, this is about your launch timeline. And in the PDF, you'll have access to this, so I'm not going to go drill down on the whole entire thing just for the sake of time. But what I want you to think about is in your webinar, think of it as its own product launch. And what you want to do is and this assumes if you have an email list, awesome. If you have a warm market, you can reach out and follow the exact same template. But basically, this is the email sequence on when you send out your emails, when you deliver the webinar, then you follow up. So you've got day 1, you're sending an email. Day 3, you're sending the benefits. Day 6, a milestone. Day 8, more benefits of the webinar. Day 10, the webinar is live. And then you go on to, doing a live encore. We have a couple live encores. We've got one on Thursday. We've got one on Saturday. Then you do the encores. You share the replay, share the offer, weave in testimonials, and then you close your promotion and let people know that there's only a couple days left to buy what it is that you have. So this playbook and this model with these template emails has helped clients. I've had clients make 6 figures. I've had clients break 7 figures with this strategy, and many clients make 5 figures. So this is something that you want to very much consider modeling in your business. Number 13 is creating a badass presentation. And here is a very, very key framework. I spent a lot of money to learn this framework, and it's very basic. In the beginning, you're doing your introduction. You heard Brian introduce me, sets the stage. You engage, you share your story, and it must relate to them and teach along the way. No one cares just about hearing someone brag about themselves. You want to relate in your story, share your stance, right? Use that 3S strategy. Number 3 is you want to add your value add topics, weave in a testimonial, do one more value add topic, transition, and then give an irresistible offer. And so if you model that, I've got people that have just ran their first webinar, model that, and achieved success and made money live on their very first webinar. All right, cool. Number 14, crafting your irresistible offer. So your irresistible offer, this is what you started to begin with the end in mind, right? And in this offer, you want to make sure that it delivers literally 10 times the value than you charge. Because if you're creating wow experiences for your customers, if you're providing bonuses, you've got a guarantee, and your offer is so good, then you're going to have then your audience is going to take action and they're going to jump on it right away. The days of just having an okay offer are gone. You have to really make sure that your offer is incredibly valuable, literally worth 10 times the amount that you charge. That's how you build a good business. That's how you get referrals and more people want to buy what it is that you have. Number 15, here we've got 5 ways to market your webinar. And Ron, Ron had a question just about this presentation. So yeah, Ron, you can, if you check your email, I've got this PDF in the email for you. You can also email support@lifeonfire.com as well. And give me a yes if you're hanging with me right now, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, and if this is landing for you. So, and if I'm going too fast, too slow, let me know what's going on, and I'll do my best to make sure everything hits home. Awesome. So, Jay Boom, rocking it, dude. All right, sweet guys, cool. All right, so here we go. Number 15, 5 ways to market your webinar. This is super important, and this is in the order of effectiveness. So, if you have an email list, awesome. You want to leverage that. What most people, even if you don't have, quote, an email list of prospects, we all have a warm market. We all have email addresses of people that we know, and pick and choose. If your webinar is right for someone that you know, email them about it. Let them know. Send them a personal email. Number 2 is joint venture partners. I've done a product launch using webinars, broke over $800,000 with it. And the reason was because I ran some Facebook ads, but I had joint venture partners. I had other people in my industry that shared my webinar to their audience. I've got a friend, Brett Gregory, who's doing the same thing. He's sharing this webinar with his audience tomorrow, right? And what's really cool about that is you don't have to pay up front for that, right? Think about who is in your industry that has an audience. So if you don't have an email list, how cool would it be to tap into someone else's audience? I can teach you how to create a win-win, and boom, you've got instant traffic that is endorsed to your webinar. So joint venture partners is key. Number 3, Facebook ads is amazing. And what's so cool about Facebook ads is what my pattern is, and what I do for my clients is I help them create their webinar, create their product, and then run Facebook ads. So every dollar that you put in, what if you got back 3, right? So for every $100 you put in, what if you got 300 back? Wouldn't you invest and put in 1,000 into Facebook ads if you got 3,000 back? Wouldn't you invest 10,000 in Facebook ads if you knew that you were going to get back 30,000? So the reason why I helped one of my clients break through 7 figures on just one webinar series is because all we did was ran Facebook ads, did the webinar, closed the cart. 3 months later, ran way more Facebook ads, closed the cart. 3 months later, ran even a bigger budget through Facebook ads, made even more money, and closed the cart, and kept doing that over and over and over until she quadrupled her business and broke $2 million in 2014 alone. Think about that. 2015 has done over $1 million on just one webinar series alone. And the reason is because, this is what I love is I've got some clients that they've done a webinar, they made a few $1,000, and they're like, man, and I'm like, listen, you got to stay the course and just do it again. Except now invest in Facebook ads. And then they do it and make more money. All right, cool. Do it again and just invest more in Facebook ads. Once you get to that point, can you see how fast you can ramp up to 6 figures? That's the only thing I've done in business where I've seen just massive, massive success with the company before I sold it with Life on Fire is I just invest in Facebook ads. I make way more money than I invest, and then I do it again. Right? And then I'll flip this into an automated webinar and I'll just let that run on autopilot, making 10K a month plus, easy as pie, right? Well, I shouldn't say easy as pie. It's a lot of hard work, but it's so cool because it's leveraged income. So if you see what I'm saying with that, how you could invest money and then earn more back, just give me a yes on that because it is so, so key. Number 4, grassroots. I had to message people. I've got clients, they'll go to a live event in their niche. They'll go to networking meetings. This method absolutely works if you don't have a list, if you're brand new, you don't have $1 for advertising. This is where I started, guys. You heard it in my story. And, this is something where everyone can do this. You just have to have a big enough why and want it bad enough. Number 5 is social media. So moving on from there, you've got number 16 is Brian. I love that. Brian said he smells what he says, smell what you're stepping in. All right, sweet. Well, sweet. So step number 16 is delivering your presentation like a pro. So what's cool about this is you just want to get in state, right? So if you're about to deliver a webinar presentation, I want you to simply think about a time in your life where you did something amazing, where you're proud of yourself for what you accomplished. I've got a really cool episode of Life on Fire TV. Go to lifeonfire.com/2, maybe jot that down. And I walk through a 15-minute training on how to get in state. So before I went live here today, I prayed to the big man. I got in state, was feeling good, and I washed all the worries from the day away, and I'm ready to rock, right? When you're talking and you're delivering a webinar, you want to literally smile when you talk because people can feel it, right? You can feel, I don't know if you can feel it now, but I'm smiling so big. And it's like when someone's smiling when they talk, it changes the energy and it's going to change your rapport and it's going to make it easier for you to present. Number three, be authentic. Be you. You don't need to copy how other people speak. Don't be some slick, cheese ball. Just be you. Have fun. Be confident, even if you're scared out of your mind. Just feel confident. Be confident, and then practice makes perfect. Join a Toastmasters. Get better every single day. The best news is that when you're sharing something that you love, so when you're living a life on fire and you love what you do for work, and you're sharing stories and you're following the Shimpuru framework, the best part is that it's when you're delivering stories, I can turn literally anybody. If I help you nail your messaging, I help you nail the three S's, I help you figure out your purpose in life, you will not have any issues. I've taken people, thrown them on a stage in person on webinars, and they will light up because they're talking about something that they love. This is why all this goes in order. Number 17. All right, so number 17 is called the money maker, aka the close, and this is important because at the end of the day, you're doing your webinar, which builds rapport. You're giving your best free content to other people, right? You're helping others. That's why it works. You're giving first, but when you do that, you then want to have them take the next step. So I've got two things here. So even if you're super advanced or you're brand new, these are very big. These are, again, how I've helped people do 5-figure webinars. So the first is I call it the value bomb. And the reason is because, and I recommend this for a first-time webinar host. If it's your first webinar, don't do a webinar and then go for the big close at the end. Like, take it one step at a time. Do a webinar, and at the end of the webinar, just offer and make an offer. And I've got a very specific recipe to do this, but make an offer to give them a strategy session or to get on the phone to continue to add value for them. And what's cool is that you can have a whole bunch of people hop on your calendar. You can then hop on the phone. And when you're on the phone, you can ask them what they want. You can then drill down. You can help them further. And then you can share with them how they can continue to work with you, right? So it's just a great way where if you've never sold online before, no big deal. You can just do the value bomb offer, a call with yourself. You want to make sure that you frame it up the right way. I've got a very specific playbook for that. And the cool thing is that you can add more value. And then we've had clients that I've one client, Vanessa, she had 200 people register. She did the webinar on Google Hangout. Everything that could have went wrong did. The whole thing crashed. The audio didn't work. And she was in tears, literally. And she's like, Nick, oh my God, I'm screwed and this and that. And it was like, listen, all you have to do is you have 200 people, 200 leads that want to know what you know. All you need to do is email those 200 leads that opted in for your webinar, offer an opportunity to speak with you and you to add value for them. She turned that into over 25K of revenue. So it's really, really key. Brian Magnosi, Brian's a leverage kind of guy. He wants to, make all the income leveraged. But in the very beginning, I was like, I kind of made him. I was like, Brian, you've got to do the value bomb, right? And he did, and he was very glad that he did because he got to know his market, right? That helped on his language, his copy, and then he had a whole bunch of clients that hired him for higher ticket coaching and helped him, build up his revenues that way. So it definitely works well. The next one is what I call the stampede. The stampede is you have such an irresistible offer, you build up the tension with fast action bonuses, scarcity and urgency, which those to me are ugly words, but they're marketing techniques and they're used all the time, right? Macy's 2-day sale, Black Friday sale. There's only 30, 55-inch TVs that are only $500, right? And so scarcity and urgency is used all around us in marketing by big box brands. That same concept is used on a webinar. So what happens is you create your irresistible offer, and then you make it time sensitive, where they're going to get a coupon discount if they buy it right then and there on the spot. There's only 50 spots available, etc. Right? So you want to build that up so that you get people to make a fast decision. And the thing is that what I found is the most successful entrepreneurs make a fast decision. And the coolest thing is that when someone's not thinking about it and they just say, you know what, this guy can help me. I like what he shared. I got a lot out of it, but I want his help. I want him to literally work with me and do it. I'm going to take that next step. I'm going to hop on board because I want the fast action bonuses and I want, the personal coaching and all that good stuff. So make your offer irresistible and you have to weave these things in. So that is very, very key. All right, J Boom, leverage is sexy. I love it. It is. It is J Boom. All right, cool. And with the Stampede, you got to be careful when you share the link. You don't want to. I call it bulldozing. It's where you just kind of go through the offer too fast and you confuse everybody. So you just want to go slow. Number 18, be proud. Take a big deep breath, right? I mean, let's just be proud right now. You guys are hanging on. We've got hundreds of people on here right now and everyone is on and you guys are still popping in the chat box. Be proud. I want you to think about you just finished your first webinar, or maybe you've already been doing webinars. You finished a webinar after you heard this coaching, or you worked with me, and you made that $10,000, or you made more, or you made 3,000 or 5,000, whatever that may be. You want to be proud that you got this done. Having a webinar is a big accomplishment. Just getting it to market is a big step. And then all you do is you rinse and repeat and you do it over and you get better. You do it over, you get better. My goal for you is to get to that spot where even if you have to do webinars for free, that's cool. Follow the framework, follow my lead, allow me to coach you. And then over time, start investing in those ads so that you can grow your cash flow, grow your revenue bigger every single month. So you want to celebrate your victories. Number 19, the fortune is absolutely in the follow-up. This is so important because more than 50% of all the profits in my 21-day profit plan launch timeline is all follow-up. So even if you do a webinar and you make, like Kathy Wagner, she made over 20 grand, boom, in one webinar live. People, she had some irresistible bonuses. It was amazing. Boom, people wanted to buy right on the spot. But here's the thing. She made more revenue by following up via email, making sure that everyone had seen the encore, then everyone had seen the replay. So you got to follow that model that I have. And, if you need to get on the phone with people, continue to follow up, because that's where, you're literally leaving half the money on the table if you don't follow up using the emails that I laid out. Step number 20 is rinse, repeat. And I cannot stress this enough. The most successful entrepreneurs stay the course, and they optimize their existing webinar funnel. They do the same one over and over and over and over and over again. One of my best buds, John Lee Dumas with Entrepreneur on Fire, the guy, if you look at how he makes his revenue, he does over, 300K plus a month net, right? And he does that month in, month out. And guess how? It's webinars. And what does he do? He does the exact same Podcaster's Paradise webinar every single week. And he loves it because, he's making crazy money doing it. But the coolest thing is he's helping his tribe. He's helping a lot of people. He's doing a lot of good. But at the end of the day, what makes him so successful is that he did not allow temptation to alter his mind to go to other options. He could have started doing business coaching or doing this or doing that. He resisted all that and he only does one webinar, right? So just like Brian Magnosi, right? Made over 20K in that webinar, and it's like, awesome. Resist temptation to do other webinars. Just focus on one. You focus on one, your life will be so much easier. You focus on one, you'll get better every single time. And what if between now and the end of the year, you got your webinar so dialed in, then you've got, someone running Facebook ads for you every time you do a webinar, let's call it once a month, you're bringing in 10, 20, 30K a month because you're doing the same thing over and over. It's your stance. It's your purpose. It's your passion that you're sharing month in and month out. So how cool is that? So stay the course. You're going to be rewarded for that discipline. And number 21 is you want to make sure that you give back. This is just one of our core values with Life on Fire. If you were around or hanging with us last year, you saw that we built a school in Guatemala. We did a virtual summit, which is just a glorified webinar series. We brought over 20,000 entrepreneurs through that funnel. We added a ton of value. We had the proceeds going to build a school. And you know what? I don't care if you're broke. When I was broke, I was still giving back. I don't care if you're broke or you're rich, whatever it may be. When you give back, you are showing money that you are the master of money and you are not it doesn't master you. And at the end of the day, it's like when you have giving back as a foundational part of your business, everything changes. You're not just working, to make money to pay bills. You have a bigger sense of why. So it comes full circle. the more clients that I have that give back along the way, and we teach about prospering with purpose, it comes back full circle and it leads to a life on fire. So I want you to seriously consider that. And it is so good. It has been so much fun to know that, as I work hard, it's great. It's great for me, for my fiance, for our life, for my clients. I create more success stories, but it's also great because we're going to be able to visit Guatemala. We're going to be able to see a whole bunch of kids, at a sweet school that we literally built by doing this. So cool. So now it is time for you to create, market, and deliver your webinars. So give me a yes if you are fired up to get rolling with webinars. If you have questions, pop in the chat box, but just give me a yes right now. Just if you're fired up about webinars, because it's literally the number one strategy. So it's time for you to get yours off the ground, and don't let another year slide by where it's just like, man, I wish I had done that, or you don't want it to be 2016 and oh man, I finally started doing webinars. It's like, get on the train now, and you'll be so glad that you did. It's also time for you to start living your life on fire. We all have different definitions, but I want you to love what you do. I want you to help others, give back. It just leads to such a fun life on fire. So here's the thing. Everything I share with you, you can take this, you can take the PDF, and you've got the 21 steps. You can just rock and roll with it, do it all yourself. That is, you've got the materials, you've got the teaching to do it. Or in B, you can hire us literally to do it with you. And so what's really cool here is that this kind of crossroads, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you, this is my offer, right? And what a cool way where you're studying webinars, you get to hear how I deliver my offer. You're going to hear that this offer is not a big crazy sales pitch. This offer is it is literally an irresistible offer on how we can work with you. It's not like anything you've ever seen in the industry, because it's a service we're providing, not just an info product with videos. And so what's cool is I get so much enjoyment out of helping entrepreneurs just like you to take their purpose, drill it down, clarify it, and get your message out to the masses. This is what I live for. Success stories is what I'm here to do with Life on Fire. And I'm just going to share with you what it looks like with our offer. So give me a yes if you are down with that. All right. Sweet. You guys are fired up. Cool. All right. So here's the thing. This is today's special offer, and it is my webinar conversion formula. So this is a done with you coaching program. So what is the difference between a done with you coaching program and just an online, video tutorials? Is online video tutorials, it allows you to fend for yourself, right? And I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of experiences where I've gone through them, or maybe I didn't finish the series and I didn't get the result that they were promising. In my course, I'm literally doing it with you. So how different would it be if, when you're crafting your title, when you're crafting your headline, when you're like, Nick, what should my benefit statements be? Or how do I run Facebook ads? And you've got me in your corner on live weekly calls to guide you every step of the way. How much is that a game changer? I've literally coached hundreds of people, and I've got so many success stories, and I want you to be my next one. So webinar conversion formula, how to create, market, and deliver a profitable webinar so you can live a life on fire. My mission right now is, and this is my goal, this is 50 success stories. I want to create 50 success stories, and I'm going to hope as many of them as they can come out to my live event in San Diego, a 3-day event called Ignite, and we'll be on my stage with fists up in the air. How good would it feel to be one of the success stories? Like, holy crap, I worked with Nick, in 2 months, and did over 10 grand my first webinar series, and picture an audience of hundreds of entrepreneurs looking at you because you're one of the success stories. So super cool. So the question is, do you want to be one of them? And that's where you would say yes in the chat box. And I want you to be one of them. And what my mission is, help you increase profits, reduce hours worked, create leverage income, and live a life with purpose. So by the end of the coaching program, so it's totally done with you. This is not just an info product, done with you. So you will have delivered a profitable live webinar, whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing them for years. In either situation, I guarantee I will help you create profits on your webinar. The next thing, that you will have grown your email list by the end of the coaching program. You will have built up your expert authority and brand positioning. You will have the playbook so that you can literally rinse and repeat, just like John Lee Dumas, as he keeps doing the same webinar over and over and over, making hundreds of thousands per month. And But at the end of the program, will have made money so they can live a life on fire and do something cool with the money. Give back. Buy your wife something amazing. Treat yourself to something that you've wanted for a while. Pay off debt or go on a vacation. Live life. Do something with the money that's going to make you happy. Right? Give back. So here's what it comes. This is the features section, right? So what you're going to get is 6 live business coaching training sessions. This is completely live. And if you can't make it live, no worries. We're popping up the replays same day. So anyone, no matter what time zone you're in, you can just catch up right away. There's enough space in between the sessions. So, if you have if you're on vacation or have a scheduling conflict, no worries, but they're live. You're going to have me with you live every step of the way, breaking down this process in greater detail, and then hot seating, helping you with your headline, your titles, all kinds of cool stuff. I also have action sheets. So you don't have to be overwhelmed or worry about what to do next. You're literally going to know every step of the way exactly what to do. You fill out the action sheets, you show up to the next call, boom, you keep moving forward fast. The next big piece is that it's done with you. So we're actually going to be helping you implement. So I don't know about you, but with me, the tech always used to overwhelm me, right? So I want you to stop feeling overwhelmed or frustrated and let us help you individually. We're going to give you an hour of one-on-one live coaching from one of our top coaches. And in that call, you're going to be able to hop on something like GoToWebinar, and they can literally help you build it while you're on the line with them. So they will show you how to set up lead pages. You show you how to set up a free trial on GoToWebinar, right? So they're going to literally show you how to push the buttons to put the thing together so that you can get this thing done. That to me is unique. And guess how I know this? I know from coaching many, many other people that this is where people fall down. So I said, I'm going to solve this problem. My goal is success stories. I'm putting up, one of my top trained coaches for a one-on-one call. Plus we've got all the group calls with me. So that is pretty cool. This is unique. Nobody is doing this because this is really how you help people get results. This is how you help create success stories. Then I'm going to throw in all the email templates. So if you're not sure what to say, no problem. We've got your back. We've got, over 20 email templates to choose from. This breaks down, what do you say in email 1? What do you say in email 5? So again, I'm giving you a model. I taught the model. Now this is giving you the specifics. This is a shortcut. What this represents is getting to success, getting to that 5-figure webinar or 10K faster. And so we have all the templates you can choose from. You just edit the copy and you're good to go from there. I'm going to give you my presentation slides that convert. So what's cool about this is you don't have to worry about, crazy design. You don't have to worry about where to put things. I take the framework and I break it down into a little over 40 slides, and it tells you what to say where. And all you have to do is edit the slides. I show you how to upload your own photos, how to get free photos that aren't copyrighted, how to buy stock photos if you want to, how to spice it up, make it look cool. But you get the framework, and this will save you a tremendous amount of time when you know what to say where. I did this with Brian Magnosi. It was super valuable because he was able to do a webinar that converted, and that's the key. You just want to make sure that you have a webinar that converts and makes you money. So I'm also going to throw in a complimentary ticket to my live event in San Diego. It's called Ignite Your Movement. It's in San Diego. It's at the same spot where I'm getting married on Coronado Island. It's incredible. We have a crazy room block discounted rate. It's June 17th through 20. This is such a crazy cool deal, $500 value. And at Ignite, it's going to take your business to a whole different level. And my goal for you, you jump on this coaching program now, and within the next 60 days, we've got 65 days until Ignite. My mission is to help you become a success story. And I literally want you on my stage sharing how fast you made over 10K using this program. So that's why this timing is all right now, is because that is my goal. I want you to come to this event. This event will radically change your life. And it's so good. We, think about it as Tony Robbins meets how to build an audience online and make an online leveraged business. We even do crazy things like walk over. Sounds crazy, but we walk over glass shards and we punch through a board. It sounds crazy, and it is crazy, but it leads to breakthrough and lasting change. So this is a sweet bonus for you. So here's what you get. hire us, get live coaching calls with me, get a one-on-one call, and you're going to get all this good stuff. You're going to get 6 live coaching session and replays. You're going to get the 6 fast action sheets. That's a $200 value. The live coaching sessions is a $300 value. And it's pretty wild. I charge $2,000 for an hour of time. So, this is pretty cool. We'll have plenty of time for you and I to connect, and I can hot seat you live on these calls. Again, we're capping it to a small enough group so that I will be able to give you individual attention on this webinar training program. So you're going to be able to really tap into my brain and help me make your life easier. You're going to get the 1 hour live done with you implementation with one of my coaches, $200 value, 20 plus email templates, $500 value, save you a lot of time, presentation slides that convert, framework, $300 value, complimentary ticket to Ignite, $500 value, total value, $4,700. I've got clients that would have paid me literally 10 times this amount based on how much revenue I've helped them make. So there's a very good, honest value there. And you don't want to BS your values when you're doing something like this. So that's what you're going to get. And plus, if you act right now, this is super important. This is like, if you went through this presentation and you're like, you know what, I can see myself doing this. I'm sick and tired of being where I'm at. You want to take your business from 5 to 6 figures. You want to go from 6 to 7 figures. I've helped people in all those ranges. If you're ready to rock, then here's what you want to do to act now. So if you act right now, here's what you're also going to get, which is pretty sweet, is additional bonuses. I'm going to throw in an additional live Facebook advertising workshop. And we're going to tell you and train you everything we know about how to run ads so that when you're ready for it, hopefully you're ready for it fast. If not, we're going to help you do webinars, make money, and then you can invest in Facebook ads. But you're going to have this live session and the replay so that when you are ready for Facebook ads, you can tap into this to create leveraged cash flow in your business, $500 value. I've got my 6-figure virtual summits instant video training. It's a $1,000 course. We sold tons of it last year at the end of the year. And this course is phenomenal. If you want to leverage webinars and turn them into a series, like I did, if you remember my success story in the beginning, where I did 110 grand, we leveraged the exact same thing last year. We built a school in Guatemala. We made multiple 6 figures from the whole thing. And this is a really cool course. We can do a virtual summit, right? And this is where, I've had some people in the questions asking things like, what if I'm not the expert? What if I'm passionate about health and fitness, but I'm not trained? I don't have a certification. This course gives you a playbook where you just get the other experts on your webinar. You interview them. I teach you how to interview in the course, and you can build your list without you actually even being the content expert. So it is really cool. If you're just getting started, this is a great way to build your list. You can make revenue from this strategy, literally a 6-figure playbook, and that's also a $1,000 value. Plus, we're going to throw in a private Facebook mastermind group. So the total value with the bonuses is $6,200, worth every penny. I would honestly look at this and say, it's the value is over 62,000 because I've helped clients make a lot more than that. So that's the bonuses if you act now, which is cool. We've got a 60-day money-back guarantee. Here's the thing. With the guarantee, I'm looking to create success stories. I only have 50 spots. If you're, not going to get into action, you're going to make excuses, or you just want to buy it, just pirate the trainings and leave, and you're not going to take action, we don't want you, right? At the end of the day, we want success stories. So here's the thing. We have a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you go through the training and you do a webinar, and you're not happy with the results, you just email support@lifeonfire.com. We're happy to give you all your money back. But the thing is, we want action takers. That's why we're doing this. I want success stories. So, but we do have a full 60-day money back guarantee. We have an impeccable reputation, always have, and it's simple as emailing support and just showing us that you've done the webinar, and we're happy to give it back to you. So I want you to let me help you add 5 figures to your bottom line. You can grab this today for only $1,997, which is crazy. So people are like, dude, are you nuts? You're giving this all away for $2,000, and you're adding personal time, and you're adding one-on-one coaching. Everyone thinks it's crazy, but again, my mission is to help you get your message out to the masses and help you prosper with purpose. And, but wait, this is where, this is part of, you may have noticed this in slide number, or technique number 20, but wait, it's going to get better. And you can actually hire us today and I mean higher, because we're going to be working with you every step of the way for only $997. We wanted to make this the best value in the marketplace. We wanted to just kick the pants off of everyone else. You can hire us right now today for only $997. If you're in a tough spot like I was before, you can do 3 payments. A little typo. You can do 3 payments of $397, and that's 3 payments of $397, or you can hire us today for just 1 payment of $997. You want to use the coupon code Who Loves You. Coupon code is Who Loves You. That's going to save you the $1,000. So that is very, very key. So it's a crazy, crazy discount for you guys hopping on board right now today. So even make it even juicier. This is the stampede part, right? So make it even juicier for the first 10 people that buy first. So it all goes in order of who buys at what time. And so the first 10 people get all the stuff that I mentioned, but you're also going to get this blue USB snowball microphone. So I'm actually using this microphone with this presentation right now. My voice sounds clear. You can hear me well, and it's going to really up your game. So it's a $59 value. We're going to just ship that to you. So that's for the first 10 people. In addition, for the first 10 people that buy right now, we're going to give you access to the Life on Fire Insiders Club. All that means is it's additional weekly calls. So that means if you've got questions, if you want to run headlines by me, if you're like, Nick, I need help on my Facebook ads, whatever it may be, we are going to be right at your hip. You've got access to us twice per week. And in this, you can just hop on. It's every Wednesday at noon. We have replays, and you're going to get access for this for 60 days. And again, this is just to help ensure and literally help guarantee that you have your success story, that you make big bucks, make profits on your webinar, and that you love us. So that is, again, for the first 10 people. And so what you should be doing now is you want to grab your card. You want to make that decision. As you've heard throughout this presentation, it's, make a decision and then make it right. You want to make sure that you take advantage of this unique offer. I mean, this is something that if you take advantage of it today, you're going to save money. You're going to be able to take advantage of these bonuses. And again, if you are wanting to get your business to the next level. And from this presentation, you realize that yes, this is right for you. You do want to leverage webinars to create leveraged income, to live a life on fire, then don't hesitate. At the end of the day, successful entrepreneur, make that decision and invest in yourself. Just like I invested in myself with Eben Pagan, right? I found a way, I got it done, and I've made literally millions of dollars since. Invest in yourself and trust in me and my team. We're going to work with you in the process. As long as you work hard and you just follow along, we will help you get the result that you want. So grab your credit card, make a decision. You want to take advantage of these fast action bonuses right now. So I'm going to give you a moment to do that. And what we're going to do, we're going to put a link up on the screen. And the way it works is you're going to go to the link, and then you just pop in your credit card information, and it's based in order of who buys first, and then we're going to give you the bonuses, afterwards. So you want to grab your card, jump on board with us. We're going to create success stories together. Have me on your side the entire, process, which is going to be great. So, I also want you to just think about, if not now, like when, right? So this to me is something that is just so interesting. It's like, if you're not ready to shift your life now, when are you going to do it? Is it going to be 2016 and wait to break through that ceiling to get from 6 to 7 figures, or it can be 2018? If you don't do something to change, the result's not going to get any different for you. So it's like, if you're ready to make that shift, you're ready to play your bigger game, you're ready to surround yourself with, 7-figure earners and people that know how to, to market online and create leverage, then hop on now. Because if not now, when are you going to do it, right? So make a decision, hop on board with us. Next slide, I'm going to pop up the link, and I would love for you to be my next success story. So we want to make you our next success story. So make a decision and take action. And you just go to webinarconversionformula.net. And again, it's webinarconversionformula.net. And if you enter the coupon code today, Who Loves You, you'll save $1,000 right now. So again, it's webinarconversionformula.net. Pop in the coupon code Who Loves You, which is me, and you'll save $1,000. You'll be able to take advantage of all these bonuses and join us for the Webinar Conversion Formula live coaching program. We'll be literally doing it with you, help you every step of the way, and we will ensure your success story, which is so awesome. So All right, guys. Webinarconversionformula.net. I'll pop that in the chat box as well. Oh, my man Brian Magnosi beat me to it. Love you, Brian. So webinarconversionformula.net. Pop in the coupon code Who Loves You. You'll save $1,000 right now. And guys, you have questions, pop them in the chat box. Don't delay. And I will also be here to go through and share with you guys what to do. So I'm going to, and don't forget, we do have a contest. We'll get to that in just a second. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys what it's like. Go to webinarconversionformula.net. You land on this fancy schmancy page. You've got a join now button. And on this page, if I haven't done an adequate job explaining everything that you get, you're going to find all the details of what you're going to get, when the sessions are, and you can scroll down, check out the top navigation. But at the end of the day, you'll see all of why this is going to help you just radically shift your business and grow your business, grow your profits, create leveraged income. So go to webinarconversionformula.net. And don't forget, when you're there, you want to click the Join Now button. When you're on the Join Now button, you want to type in the promo code Who Loves You. You click Apply. Once you click Apply, you've got single pay $997, which is awesome. You save a few bucks, or a 3-pay of $397. So take advantage of this very unique special offer, a done with you program. This is a service. This is not an information product. A done with you live coaching program. We are going to totally help you create a success story. It's going to be awesome. And then you better be on my stage at that Ignite event because it's going to be sweet. So cool. So that is that. Let me just bring you back over here. All right, guys. And if we have questions, feel free to fire them away. And again, it's webinarconversionformula.net. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop over, I'm going to answer some questions, and we're also going to field, we're going to bring on Brian Magnosi, and we're going to have him share what's going on as well. And yes, so guys, if you heard me speaking on that slide, there was a total typo. Is $997, and then I very clearly said it's or 3 payments of $397. So I wanted to take you to the site to just further drill that down. I know Brian's answered your questions, so my apologies, little typo. I've been of all things to glaze over, that's the one thing you don't want to miss. But it's good to go. So it's $997 or 3 payments of $397. If you grab it right now, $1,000 off. If you jump on board with us, don't forget to type in the coupon code Who Loves You, because I want you to save the $1,000 and take advantage of it and all the bonuses. So here's what we're gonna do. If you have questions, type them in the chat box. Let us know. And we're going to hang on. We're going to get all your questions answered. But before we do, I want to bring on Brian Magnosi. I want him to share with you how the webinar conversion formula has just shifted his life, what it felt like to go from literally starting an entirely new niche without the list, and what he's done with it since and where he's going. So, and if you're in, just type in the chat box that you're in. Let us know. And I already have a whole bunch of people that said I'm in. But just if you don't mind, can you retype it? We just have so many questions and things coming in. We have hundreds of people on here, and there's only 50 spots. So keep that in mind. So just type in I'm in. Let us know, and I'll congratulate you in just a second. So. All right, sweet. We've got Gary, don't have your last name here. Congratulations, he is in. We've got Ashley. I'm in school. Awesome. So she's in school and won't finish coaching, training, launch business. And I won't finish coaching, training, launch business in June. What should I do? So this program is about 6 weeks, and what I would suggest is, no matter what your schedule is, we're going to have all the replays. We're delivering it live. If push comes to shove, I would take advantage of the offer now. You could always do it later if you want to use the replays, but I would encourage you, if you can, be with us as we're doing. That's awesome. But any way you slice it, we'll have the done with you part of the program available to you at any time. So, take advantage of the offer, and, whenever it's right for you, you can ideally plug into the live calls, and then you have all the replays as well. So we've got Adam Giles. What's up, my man? I'm so hyped for this, dude. Awesome. I love that. A man with many exclamation points is a friend of mine. line. He's fired up. And Adam, I love it, my man. And I'm so fired up for success stories. So I love it. I hope you are one. Let me know if you're going to be one. And we've got A. So we don't have a first name. It just says A. You must have registered with A. So that is cool. We've got Dan is in. We've got let's see. We've got Christine. We've got Jennifer is in. Sweet. All right, Salvador. 3 payment option says total due is $1,191. That is correct. So here's the thing. It's one pay for $997, and here's why. Because that's the pay in full, or you can do, oh, let me jump to it. Okay. Actually, no, I'm just going to edit this. I don't want to confuse anybody. So you can do one pay for $997 or 3 pay for $397. And here's the thing, that you will be paying $1,191 if you do the 3 pay. The reason is because you're stretching out the payments. And so I encourage you to pay in full, or you can, if you want to stretch them out, you can. But it's your choice. And so what we find is, we love working with people that are on a full pay, super hungry, ready to go. 3 pay is going to make it affordable. In a 3 pay, and these are paid 30 months out, or excuse me, 30 days out. So they're a month in between each other. That means you've got 90 days to make that money back. If we can't help you make that money back in 90 days, then something went very, very wrong. That'd be crazy, right? So the cool thing is, put up $397, jump on board, dive into the training, and we want you to be running a live webinar as fast as possible. So that's the key. So it's a very, very good, solid offer with done for you action on it. So again, jump on board webinarconversionformula.net, hop on board now, take advantage of the savings of the coupon code Who Loves You. And all right, so we've got Karina says help. So Karina, type in, let me know how we can help you. Damien is in, my man. Sweet. Welcome. All right. Okay, so Karina, so 90 days to pay, but making money in 60. Yes, Karina. If you have an email list, if you have, experience with, or just have an idea of what you want to sell, that's obviously key, and that's awesome. If you were brand new and you just were picking out your niche and you had no list, I'm still very confident I can help you make, by that point, after 60 days, you're talking about what is that? $800. Absolutely. If you can't make $800 in 2 months in webinars, then something went very wrong, right? And then if you do a webinar and you didn't make it, then drop me a line and return the thing. You know what I mean? We are very confident in our ability to coach. We're very confident in our ability to work with you hand in hand. We're confident in our ability to help you create revenues with this. That's the whole point. So yes, I feel very confident, very good with that. All right, and Salvador, so no problem with the finance charge, but PayPal, I think, has asked me to pay the full 1191. It shouldn't be. It should be, able to make 3 payments, although I can double check for you. In Salvador, if you need to. All right, so let's say. Okay, you know what? The PayPal is only doing a single pay. So Salvador, if you can just use a credit card, that is ideal. Or when you go to checkout with PayPal, let me just check it for you. You should be able to. All right. Give me 1 second. Let's just double check. All right. Let me log in here. Boom. All right. So in Salvador, if you need to, just email support@lifeonfire.com and we can help you get that rocking and rolling right away. So David, so this is a 60-day offer. So just to clarify, so what this means is the coaching program will be done within 60 days. So we have a schedule lined up. It's on the webinarconversionformula.net. Basically, we're going to go through 7 sessions. We're going to teach you week to week. And before the 60-day mark, our goal for you is to create a success story where you're making money. And that's why we have the refund period all the way to 60 days out. So we just want to make sure that you guys, make money, rock and roll with us, and we'll go from there. Salvador, email support@lifeonfire.com if you do have a problem for any reason. And what I want to do is real quick, I got to bring on Brian Magnosi. I know he's been clamoring away on the chat, but Brian Magnosi, what's up, my man?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So tell us just real quick about your experience just working with me and the webinar conversion formula and what it did for you and your business.
Absolutely. I tell you, it was one of the best things personally that I've done. And that first couple of webinars in that first series, made over 20 grand, and it was definitely a learning experience for sure, and it continues to be, but a good one, a valuable one, not just for the money, but for the experience, because I then have taken that first three webinar series that we did, and I totally took your value bomb strategy. In fact, we did that in the very first webinar. You really encouraged me to do that. And I thought, this guy is out of his mind. Are you serious? I'm going to bring all these people in the webinar and give value for an hour, 45 minutes of solid teaching, and then give them free coaching offer on top of it. I had 48 people take me up on that free coaching offer on that first webinar. But you know what? That helped really convert into a lot more money in the back end, because I have one-on-one coaching, and I have some different, kind of offers, which you encouraged me to do to really help monetize. I tell you, man, it was just really wonderful. So, if somebody is looking at this and thinking, can I really do a webinar? Yeah, you can. I mean, if I can, you can. How am I any different than you, except maybe a couple decisions ahead of you? Webinars are fun. They're easy. People love them. And when you really focus on the value like you taught me to do, and you're, you know, teaching here in this course, it really becomes a win-win, because you're sowing good seed in the ground of other people's lives, and you inspire, you encourage, you help, and you give them a valuable skill, and then in turn they bless you back because they buy your stuff, and it's a really cool thing. And not just one time. I found that webinars can really produce long-term repeat buyers, and that's where the returns can really get exponential. And I'm just sort of at the beginning stages of this relative to, like where you are and John Lee Dumas and things like that.
So what I love about what I love is Brian. I mean, Brian just acted with faith, right? You put your faith in with me, and you still are, and you put your faith in yourself, knowing that if you make a decision, you're going to find a way to win, right? And we got on board. Brian jumped in, used the model, like you heard him just say. I mean, it was what, man? I got to do all that time on the phone, and it's like, man, it's your first webinar. It's so good for you to learn what your prospects are thinking and doing, and it's gonna benefit you later. And you took on that coaching, you did it, you made over 20 grand. You move so fast, you're already to an automated webinar funnel, which we didn't even talk about, which is a phenomenal way to grow your business. Once we finish this entire live coaching program, we'll look at doing that too. And what I love is that where you are right now, you're in the rinse and repeat. This is where it goes. This is where all the magic happens, because you've proven out your model. I mean, you came from out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, bam, focusing on video marketing and teaching people what you know about video marketing. And all we do now is we just keep dialing it in. It's, you do the next webinar, and reinvest in ads, do the next webinar, reinvest in ads. And then you get it to a spot where you're making that, consistent 5,000 per month, and that keeps growing and growing and growing every single month. And you keep doing that with that one webinar until you cannot buy any more Facebook ads. And the best part is guys like John Lee Dumas, they've proven, guys like myself, that you can advertise, you can keep doing this to the tune of 6 figures a month. I've got, one of my clients who, again, made over 2 million bucks in a year. She's in a very different niche. She's not in a, business coach niche, or, I mean, very unique niche. It doesn't matter what niche you're in, as long as you're in the big buckets: money and business, dating and relationships, health and wellness. That covers almost everything, right? If you're talking about, horse grooming or something, it may be a little tricky, right? But if you are in any of those big niches, we can find a way live on a call together, and I will help you position this. I will help you take this and drill it down. And so what's cool with you, Brian, is just about rinse, repeat, dial it in, get to the next step and keep doing it. And then, when you get to a spot where but the cool thing is, I haven't seen a ceiling, where, I mean, John's continuing to crank out hundreds of thousands per month. I've got clients that are doing that. We're every single month, we're rocking webinars. As you guys probably see online, we're always marketing, because I love doing webinars, and I love having the right people jump into my coaching programs, and I love teaching this stuff. This is what, I mean, I've got, clients that pay big bucks for one-on-one time, 30K, 36K a year, and I get to pour into them and to help them at a more in-depth level. But for you guys on this, it's like, for $1,000, it's like, it's crazy. You're going to get, all these sessions together and, work together. We're even throwing in one-on-one coaching to help you create that success story. So it is super, super cool. So I love it. All right. Well, and then from here, all right, Nick, I will email support. Just want to give you a heads up and let you know the 3 payment option is not working even with the. All right. So Salvador, email support at lifeonfire.com. Sometimes it's a browser issue. We have had a couple other people that it worked for on the 3Pay with PayPal, but just a heads up, we can easily set you up individually on PayPal. Not a problem, my friend. Donna will reach out to you first thing in the morning. She's a sweetheart and she'll get you squared away. So just email support at Life on Fire. So cool, Brian. I appreciate the testimonial, man. And it's been so much fun working with you. And I just can't wait, just to see you continue to rise, man, to continue to rinse, repeat, and stay disciplined to focusing on that one topic and just making it bigger and bigger every single month. So kudos to you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and appreciate you schooling me and continuing to teach me how to really develop this skill. And it is a skill. It's not just a course. It's a skill that I just take for the rest of my life. It's really cool. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's a great point, because it's like once you learn this, you take it into your niche, you rinse and repeat. This is like, so you heard my story of like how much struggle I was in to be an entrepreneur. Once I learned this skill at Edmund Pagan's event and they got some one-on-one coaching, I was able to take this and build and sell a business, then take Life on Fire. My first year, when we started in 2013, we only had about 6 months before the year ended. We were at a very high multiple six-figure business from what? Webinars. And all we did was we took the knowledge that I had in my head about Facebook marketing, bam, we started teaching on webinars about Facebook marketing. And we ramped it up. We built up our client list. We built up Life on Fire in record speed. Then we broke, $1 million. Then we kept going. And what I love is it's just a duplicatable model. Once you have the skill, it's like teaching someone to fish instead of giving you a fish. I don't want to just give you a fish, I want to teach you how to fish. This is the skill of making money online, which is cool. So, all right. So just real quick, couple people. I'm going to jump to the contest real fast. We've got Nicholas Calmers. What's up, my man? He said, I can't wait to come to Ignite. Hopefully by motorcycle from Maine. Dude, if you come by motorcycle, I can't wait to meet you. We're going to, dude, that's going to be awesome. We're going to share that story. We do a lot of interaction at Ignite, the live event. And, if you drive by motorcycle, that is insane. I want you to take pictures and tag us and like show us the whole process, because that'd be awesome. Cool. Jeff, what's your thought of a niche of youth life success platform using youth sports as the medium? L doesn't mean losing. It means learning. Okay, cool. So I've got a couple folks who I've consulted that have young audiences. So I've got one guy who's a friend who I've shared quite a bit about the webinar conversion formula with. The guy's name is Mark Lack. He uses webinars to market to the youth, and he does that. And he targets parents. He targets successful celebrities, and then his ideal client is actually celebrities' children, and he puts on these events. It's incredible. So we've done, I've seen him really rise. It's called the Peak Performance Club, and it's all for the youth. We've got I have a youth pastor that's been leveraging webinars to teach youth and reach them on social media where they're harder to reach. So there's always a way. And unless you're in a very funky niche where there's not an emotional connection, literally if you're in something like, you're selling potato chip clips or something, that's going to be hard. There's not a lot of margin in like that kind of an e-commerce business. But if you're selling something where a service you have, a product you have, something where you're helping other people or coaching or mentoring or working with the youth, then that is definitely cool. I can help you position that on the live training. All right, cool. So guys, offer still stands up here before we roll. So webinarconversionformula.net. You can save $1,000 right now. Type in the coupon code Who Loves You. You can hop on board. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump to a very quick engagement contest here. So Life on Fire shirts, they are seriously awesome. They're so much fun. I mean, I get people like asking me like, oh yeah, it's cool. I get thumbs up, like walking in airports and stuff. I love it. I love this brand. I love helping people live a life on fire. So we've got 5 shirts. So what I want you to do is Adam Giles, I'll be selling training on public speaking. Awesome. Adam, we'll help you position that up because I want you to be a trainer of speakers that makes money. I've got friends like Lisa Sasevich who does, webinars, and she does events, and she crushes it. Multiple 7-figure business, but she's positioned well. Adam, we're going to help you get positioned well. So awesome. Congrats, man. Look forward to working with you. Mary, holy cow, I will not be able to sleep. Mary, I love it. There's nothing better than working with people that are fired up for life, that want to help people. That's who I attract, and you attract who you are, which is a beautiful thing. And Dan, he's excited. All right, cool. So here's a contest. All right, so I'm going to ask a question. The first person to answer it correctly is going to win a shirt. So So I mentioned 2 closing techniques. What was the first one that I mentioned? There were 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, Christy, you were so close. She said value added, but Adam snuck it in. He was the first one to respond. It was the value bomb. All right, so Adam, all over it, man. Jeez. All right, so Adam, t-shirt. Congrats. You are correct. It was the value bomb. All right, so now I'm going to, let me see here. I got to dream up another question real quick. So, what was the business that I mentioned that it was the business that I gave back to charity? And it was, this is going to be a real tough one. The business I gave back to charity, it was after the real estate bomb. It was in the beginning during my story. It was, it was an epic fail. That's going to be a tricky one. It might be too hard. Oh, Becky nails it. Oh man, you guys are good. Holy crap. That was a hard one. You guys did focus. All right. So, Becky, congrats. All right, we'll send you a shirt, and Donna will follow up. She's literally like the nicest person in America, and she's such a sweetheart. She'll follow up for the shirt. All right, so I'm going to go with one that is a little bit easier. This is a free for all. This is for anybody. Anyone can get this one. It's just about typing. And spelling. So whoever can correctly spell and type in my last name first. Oh, dang. All right. So we have A, and then because we don't have your last name for some reason, it says empty field. So A, empty field. Would you mind? It says A. You were the first person that answered. Would you mind just typing in what your first and last name is? It just shows as A. Anna. Awesome. All right, Anna. And, oh, perfect. And, okay, so I will find you that way. And Anna, I won't share this publicly, but if you don't mind just typing in your email address, I just want to make sure we get to you. So Anna, that won the shirt, just pop that in there as well. Just want to make sure we got you. And it won't be shared publicly. Cool. All right, so next one. Let's go with type in where I live right now. All right, I'm just writing down, Anna, your email. Okay, awesome. Oh, and your real name is Kara. Perfect. I love it. Okay, cool. You probably put in a fake name, maybe. Like I've done that before. It's all good. You never know what you're going to get in these things, but as you can probably tell, I really do everything I can to go all out for you. So, okay, so cool. So the San Diego question. So, wow, lots of answers. You guys are on it. We have Paula. Paula got the first one, and Paula, your last name shows as empty field. So if you don't mind, just type in your email address as well, and we will mail you the shirt. And also, so you know what? That's so cool. So So Becky said, "No worries about the shirt because you're coming to Ignite." But so that's very generous of you, and we're giving you a very unique shirt at Ignite. So I'm still going to mail you a shirt, Becky, because you're going to end up with 2 different styles. But I am going to give away another one because that's just so cool of you to do that. She's already giving. We're already attracting the right people. I love it. So we'll still send it to you. And all right, so I just need to grab Paula, your email address. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about the Paula. Oh, Paula, it looks like, Paula, are you in Australia? Dan, you're coming to Ignite too? Nice. And Paula, I think you are. Oh, you're in Australia. So hey, it's it's going to be a doozy to ship out there, but we will ship it out there to you because you won. So you're on here paying attention. So we got you. It'll take. Just keep in mind, Paula, it's going to take a while to get there, but we will ship it to you. All right. So and guys, if you're coming to Ignite, type in the chat box. Yeah, and Paul, we'll reach out via email and grab your size, so you'll be good to go. All right, so all right, Paula Kruger in the house is coming. We've got Dan's coming. We've got Mary. Ignite me now. We've got Empty Field. We're coming to Ignite. Adam, I will try. Sweet, and well, cool. So I'm gonna give away how many shirts? I think I did what? I did 4. All right, so I'll fire these off real quick. These are gonna be very simple ones. We're gonna go with all right. First question here is, let me think here. What is how many steps are there in the webinar conversion formula, the PDF that I did? Boom. All right, Dan. Dan nailed it with 21. So Dan, it shows empty field for your last name. So just pop in your email address, my friend. Good to go. And we're going to do another bonus one because Becky so generously gave hers away. So let's go with what color are my eyes? I guess I kind of have it on the screen there. All right. Jay Boom. Come on, brother. Blue. I think you're just trying to sweeten me up a little bit. Another brown. So the first one is Christy Brown. Nailed it. You know what? My brother has blue eyes and he always used to brag about his blue eyes and how I had crummy brown eyes, but you know what? Hey, if you have brown eyes like me, it's all good. All right, so Christy, all right, you win. Awesome, guys. Cool. And all right, good guess, huh? Yeah, great guess. All right, well, cool. So that wraps up the contest. I do want to give you guys, we've got a lot of folks still on board. So check this out. If you have questions, get them answered because you want to take advantage of the offer. You're going to see. We are going to work our butts off with you. We live for success stories. We want you to kick butt. We want you to come to our Ignite event, be on our stage, and it's going to be so much fun. So I mean, shoot, if I had only, had something like this when I got started, I had to invest $5,000 and then thousands for coaching. And this is going to really be a huge shortcut. So if you have questions, email support@lifeonfire.com. You can also call us. You can literally call the one and only Donna McAvoy personally on her cell phone. That's the kind of support we give, 858-344-2670. And she does live on the East Coast. So we do have business hours and all that good stuff, but you call her at any time, leave a voicemail, get your questions answered. Do not let this pass you by. And we've got a question here before we wrap up. All right, so great question. So Dutun, are you in? I see. What is the next step? All right. Now, your team is my chosen support system, and you got my 100% focus attention. Maya, you freaking rock. I'm so glad to hear that, Maya. And we're going to give you 110%. And you're going to find that there's not many people out there like us in the coaching industry. We work extremely hard. We live for success stories because you know what? When we help you kick butt with this and you roll up your sleeve and you stay committed, you focus, you follow the steps, this is what it's about. This is how we grow. We, instead of trying to instead of having thousands of people in on these things, we keep it smaller group, better attention, and we focus on the results, which is cool. So this was the most killer offer and training I had in my force. Sweet, nice. All right, Doton is in. Sweet. All right, so the next step. All right, so here's the deal. We have in the members area. The members area has instant access. So here's what the next step is. So I'm going to roll through what's going on. So the live coaching sessions, if you go to webinarconversionformula.net, you can click on the button for schedule. You can scroll to the schedule. You're automatically registered if you paid for those live sessions. The live sessions, we have a little bit of a buffer in between when they start. What we're going to do is we're going to get you prepped up and ready to go. The cool thing is we have live weekly calls. So tomorrow is Wednesday. So if you paid tonight, you're taking advantage of the bonus. If you're buying right now tonight, the cool thing is we have a live call tomorrow at noon Pacific. And so we'll help you. We're going to be sharing some cool stuff about what you can do to get going. So that's tomorrow. In addition to that, you've got instant access to some really cool bonuses. We've got the 6-Figure Virtual Summits instant training. You can log in and you can sink your teeth into this. I would love that. If you do that and you went through this course, because this is going to really help frame you up on, a virtual summit. If you don't have experience and you want to interview other people, this is a fantastic model to build your list. If you do have a skill, you've got something that you want to sell, you've got knowledge on a topic, perfect. But this course is going to be great if you want to spend our time together during the course drilling down on how can you interview people and achieve the same result. So you've got instant access to this. You guys, it's going to take just a little bit of time. We just had a whole bunch of you guys hop in. So Donna is going to onboard you. So you're going to receive a phone call from Donna. You're going to get a receipt via email, and then you're also going to receive an email that breaks down the next steps. It takes a few minutes to generate because there's a whole bunch of different parts moving in the back end, and that email is going to generate with what your next steps are. So it's going to share with you how you can take advantage of this. You can join us on tomorrow's weekly call. We do have all the replays. We've got our private Facebook group, and then from there, we're going to, on the very first session, we're going to talk about the fast action sheets. So we're not going to overwhelm you and just blast all this out to you now. We want you to hop on live and join us live, and we're going to walk you through. I've done a lot of online coaching, and what happens if you're drinking water from a fire hose, it's overwhelming, it's frustrating, and I don't want you to be a statistic. I want you to be a success story. So you tap into what we have for you right now, the weekly live calls, and in just a very short amount of time, we'll be live on the sessions. We'll get rolling, and we will dive in, and we're going to walk you through the process, and we're going to give you these templates and the presentation slides and all that good stuff as we go, and make it very simple for you. If you haven't booked your ticket to Ignite, hop on that, or if you haven't decided on that, we want you to join us. It's like setting the intention. Know that you want to be a success story. Know that you want to share that success story at Ignite. I've had people that have literally planned to be a success story, and they made that commitment, and then they did, right? And we're going to talk about mindset tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to set your goals and how to frame things up. And guys, if you can't make it tomorrow because it's such short notice, we'll have replays. We'll take good care of you. Our support will be a little bit bogged down. Give us a little bit of leeway on response time, but Donna will be working her bum off to get back to you as soon as we can. So, all right, Dotun. Sweet. Thanks, brother. He said, you speak very well. I'm currently in Toastmasters. Yes, I will totally help you with the sales presentation. Okay, cool. And Salvador, I won't read this. Okay. You know what, Salvador, I got your back, buddy. If you email and you're in, the answer is yes. I got you. So that's cool. And our goal is to over deliver for sure. And so guys, what I'm going to do now real quick, we have a couple questions just about everything that's included. Let me just do a quick wrap up and we'll get you on your way. 6 live coaching sessions, replays included, fast action sheets, the done with you implementation. That's a one-on-one call, help you set the thing up so that you're not stuck anywhere. 20 email templates so you're not stuck, you're moving fast, presentation slides that convert, ticket to our event, $4,700 value. Hopping on today, live Facebook advertising workshop, $500 value. This is my dream for every one of you, is even if you're starting with no budget, cool, go out, do your webinar, rinse, repeat, invest back in your business, run some ads and grow. From there, 6-Figure Virtual Summits, instant video training. This is something that if you have no experience, you can, when I did my first webinar series, I interviewed other people. I didn't have enough confidence to just be the main guy. I interviewed other people and I built a 6-figure promotion. I just did a big old multiple 6-figure virtual summit, just this past November. And this is instant access. It's $1,000 course, which is cool. Private Facebook group and all that good stuff. $997 or 3 pay of $397 coupon code who loves you. Hop on today. And all right, boom, boom. Cool. Webinarconversionformula.net. Hop in, be a success story. And if you have questions, support at lifeonfire.com. Call 858-344-2670. Guys, I cannot wait to rock and roll with you. I'm so fired up to work with you guys. And if you're on right and you haven't made a decision, I would just suggest just trust your gut. Inside, maybe you've been burned before. You bought something, an information product. You don't want to get burned again, or you don't want to. Maybe you've bought courses and your wife or your husband's like, man, you keep spending money and you're not doing anything. Break that off right now. Never again let that happen. This is what I do as a coach. I will help you get into action, break off any of those old beliefs, and hop in. And I've worked with some tough. I've had a couple, clients that came in with, maybe not the most optimistic mindsets, and I've been able to turn them around. So, just if you're ready to roll up the sleeves, if you're ready to get your butt into action, this is for you. If you're just, if you've got a victim mentality and you're gonna keep making excuses or something like that, then don't do it. But we want the right people. Want you to be a success story. I'm so grateful for all you guys. Thank you for hanging on and being so just lovely, like in the chat. I really appreciate it. You guys are just very positive and encouraging. So thank you for that. Brian Magnosi, my man. Love you, man. Thanks for helping out. Really appreciate it. And you guys have a rocking rest of your night. So sweet. And you guys are all super fired up. Jay Boom, God bless you too, my man. Salvador, you the man. All right, we'll see you guys over and out. Cheers.